I'm gonna only show up on birthdays and holidays. Maybe. Definitely gonna make promises I cannot keep. Definitely gonna tell you I'm gonna be around more, but psych. Probably gonna forget your birthday. Shit, I might even forget how old you are, but I'm your dad, so yeah.
Ding dong.
The most dangerous baby daddy in the world is not the baby daddy that leaves you when you're pregnant. Not the baby daddy that cheats or leaves you for another woman.
Hey, besties. Today, I want to have a real heart-to-heart about something that hits close to home for so many people. We're talking about deadbeat fathers. Those guys who vanish when it's time to step up as dads, leaving behind broken promises, hurt, and a whole lot of chaos. Now, I know this subject can be heavy, but if we're honest about the issues, maybe we can find a way to break the cycle. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's get into it.
Y'all don't find it strange when y'all be dealing with men who got kids and they be having a bunch of free time? You don't never hear him telling you that he get ready to be with them kids or have the children or the mama about to drop the kids off or they about to go do something together. You don't find that strange? You don't find it strange that when you go over to his place, there's no sign of kids at all? No shoes, no clothes, no toys, nothing. You don't find it strange that he don't have any space for the kid at his place? He got a 1-bedroom apartment and he got kids or a child that's above age that should have their own space. But again, he in a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio. You don't find that strange? I find that very strange. It's definitely giving weekend father. It's definitely giving babysitter, right? If that baby mama got to drop off a bag when she give him the child, he's absolutely a babysitter, not a father. He is not active in that child's life. If that child ain't got clothes over his house, that child don't have toys and stuff over the house, if they are younger, like there's a problem. There's a problem. He ain't as active as he acting like he is. And a lot of y'all women truly don't care. Right? You truly don't care how involved he is with the other children that he got, just as long as if you have a baby by him that he active with yours. But guess what? Newsflash, if he ain't active with them kids, he probably ain't gonna be active with yours either. But a lot of y'all so silly, you have to wait until the shoe is on your foot and you get to see that he a weekend father or a babysitter on your own for you to realize it's real. It's definitely problematic when you see these signs in men who got children.
So if he's introducing you to this child within 3 months, 6 months, he tripping. He tripping, totally. These are the signs of a deadbeat dad. A man that introduces you to his children way too early. A man that does not care about the safety of his child. He doesn't care about you having access to his child in the sense that he wants to put you guys together immediately. This is oftentimes a man who is trying to overcompensate for his lack of showing up, his lack of presence. He knows he's not really present in their life. So as soon as he meets you, he wants to do everything in his power to show you that he is a good father when this is all performative. He's not a good father. He wants you to meet them, but it's to help his ego and to help boost his chances of being with you. You're going to have to see that man consistently show up. But it's honestly the biggest red flag if he introduces you to that baby too soon. Because men who truly are real fathers, like they love their kids, they are the same way that single mothers are. When single mothers are like, ain't nobody meeting my kid. Nobody. And it's going to take a hell of a long time for anybody to meet my child. A second sign is when this man does have his children, like physically, it will only be to do fun activities. He doesn't have his children, and when he has them, you see him doing homework with them. You see him doing projects. You see him, you know what I'm saying, taking care of the child in all these different ways that you'll see on the day-to-day with their mother. You will see him, and he will always be taking them out to eat, taking them to the museum, taking them to this venture, to this venture. Dad is always the fun parent. That's a giveaway sign that this man is not really involved. He's not really active. He just, again, bringing them around to appease you. Okay? And a lot of y'all falling for it. The third sign is a man who barely talks about his kids. And this is a man who, he'll answer when you ask about them. But overall, you'll damn near never hear anything about his children when you guys are just having your day-to-day conversations. And as you are connecting, he'll typically only bring it up if something happens with the child's mother or the many children's mother, or if something happens and he's like, oh, they're in the hospital, they're sick. Like, he might say something like that, but overall, he will never bring up his kids. You will not hear about them from him. You just won't. Because for him, for the deadbeat, their children are out of sight, out of mind. You won't hear about them.
Let's start by talking about what we really mean by deadbeat fathers. For some, it might simply mean a dad who doesn't pay child support, but it goes so much deeper than that. A deadbeat father is any man who fails to fulfill his responsibilities financially, emotionally, and physically. He might have been present at the start, but then chooses to disappear when challenges arise. Sometimes he leaves entirely. Other times, he's around but emotionally checked out. We hear excuses like, I didn't ask for this, or I'm not ready, but the truth is, a child never signs up to be abandoned. Whether it's a complete ghosting or just a pattern of minimal engagement, the result is the same, a gap in support that reverberates through a child's life. And it's not just about money. It's about being there for birthdays, school plays, and those tough moments when a kid needs guidance. I've seen stories online, heard personal confessions, and even experienced the fallout myself. It's heartbreaking to watch a child grow up without a consistent, loving father figure. And as we'll see, the effects go far beyond the individual. They ripple through families and even communities. Now, besties, let's zoom out a bit. Society often idealizes fatherhood as this noble role. We're told that a real man is one who provides, protects, and loves unconditionally. Yet, when a father fails, we rarely talk about it openly. There's a stigma attached to acknowledging that many men, for various reasons, simply don't step up. It's not always a matter of evil intent. Often, it's a mixture of immaturity, learned behavior, and sometimes even a toxic idea of masculinity that tells men that emotions are weak. But regardless of the root cause, the impact is the same. Society ends up normalizing this absentee behavior, leaving mothers and children to carry the burden alone. When communities celebrate Dad of the Year stories, it makes the absence of a dad seem even more stark. And the media? They might highlight heroic dads, but rarely focus on the silent struggles of those left behind by deadbeat fathers. This skewed narrative often forces children and single parents into a corner, where they feel isolated and misunderstood. So why do we keep quiet about this? Part of it is shame. There's an unspoken rule that you should be grateful for the man who's in your life, even if he's not really there when you need him most. But today, we're challenging that notion. It's time to recognize that the absence of a father isn't a personal failing. It's a societal one.
Deadbeat baby dads be like, I guess I'll see you soon. If you're lucky. What size shoe is she? Can I borrow your car seat? Can you pack her a bag for my house? When's her birthday? She won't let me see my kid. I know I haven't seen her in a year, but she still won't let me see her. Oh, it's anybody else's birthday besides my kids. Let me show out. Come here for 2 seconds and let me take a picture with you so I can post it on Facebook like I'm some father. I know I haven't paid my child support in literally forever or ever helped you with anything, but can you please take me off child support? Can you please stop posting TikToks about me so that everybody knows who I really am?
The most dangerous baby daddy in the world is not the baby daddy that leaves you when you're pregnant. Not the baby daddy that cheats or leaves you for another woman or doesn't pay his child support or the one you never see again. The most dangerous baby daddy is the one that wants to sit around and play house. Wants to sit around and pretend you're a family all while being non-committal to you. That way you can't move on, you can't detach, you can't find somebody that truly loves you. This kind of baby daddy will take your entire life if you let him. Put your foot down, have a boundary, walk away to somebody who is giving you breadcrumbs and go find the love of your life. Get somebody while you're young and beautiful. You deserve somebody that wants to be there consistently, committed to you. Give your kids the opportunity to see a family raised in love.
Let's get personal for a minute. This is about our kids. When a father is absent, the wounds can run deep. Research shows that children who grow up without a stable, present father often struggle with self-esteem, academic achievement, and even face challenges in forming healthy relationships later on. Imagine growing up and feeling like the person who was supposed to love and support you just wasn't there. You might start questioning your worth, wondering what you did to cause this absence. The loneliness can breed anger, sadness, and in some cases, lead to behavior problems that persist into adulthood. I've read countless accounts of kids feeling abandoned, not because their fathers never existed, but because they never really existed for them. The birthday parties, the school recitals, the important milestones, they miss out on those moments of connection. And when you don't have that steady presence, you're left to wonder if you're even lovable. Moreover, these experiences often set off a domino effect. The lack of a positive role model can impact a child's future relationships. They might struggle with trust or repeat the pattern with their own children. Besties, it's heartbreaking, and it's why this topic matters so much.
The quickest way for parents to damage their children mentally and emotionally is for them to not co-parent when they split up. As a psychotherapist, I've worked with so many now who have been damaged by their parents not deciding to put their feelings to one side and actually work together in a way that creates a plan so that child has consistency and frequency seeing both parents. And I get it, you might not like each other, but look, that hatred that you have towards the other parent is harming the child every single time you decide you're going to turn up late to pick them up for handovers. You're not going to turn up at all. Or you're going to message last minute to try and rearrange because you think that's going to really affect the other parent. Let me tell you how that affects your child. You see, your child starts to learn and believe that they're not important to you. They learn that they're at the bottom of the hierarchy in terms of what you really care about in life. They start to develop a belief that they're just not good enough. And they're never going to be good enough because you never put them first. You never do what you'll say you're going to do and turn up for them on time, showing up, giving them the attention that they desperately need. And instead, you want to make snide and bitter remarks towards the other parent, making that child feel uneasy, making that child feel like they're the problem here. Because if they weren't around, chances are you'd be getting on with that parent. And that is how children think and feel. They pick up on this bad energy. So if you're in this situation and you're fighting to try and get one up on the other parent, do your child a favour and stop. Just organise what you need to organise in terms of the days and the times that you're going to be seeing your child and stop playing games. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, tag them in the comments.
Now, let's talk about the unsung heroes in this equation, the single mothers. Often, when a father steps away, the weight of the world lands squarely on the mom's shoulders. Not only do they have to provide emotionally, but they also often have to pick up the financial slack. Single moms juggle jobs, childcare, household responsibilities, and sometimes even legal battles just to get the support that was promised. And it's not just about money, there's a constant emotional toll. They face judgment from society, blame from within their own communities, and a pervasive feeling of isolation. Imagine having to fight every day for your child's well-being, all while trying to keep your own dreams alive. The stigma attached to being a single parent can be crushing. Yet, despite all of this, these moms keep going. They become pillars of strength in a system that often leaves them unsupported. But it's not fair. The absence of a father should not have to define the entire family dynamic. And let's be clear, while many single mothers are incredibly resilient, no one should have to shoulder an entire child's upbringing alone. The societal acceptance of deadbeat fathers only deepens the wounds for both moms and children. We need to hold men accountable, and we need to support these mothers in every possible way. So why do some men become deadbeat fathers? There isn't a single answer, but we can talk about some common factors. For many, it begins with their own upbringing. If a man grows up without a positive father figure, he may never learn what real fatherhood looks like. He might have internalized a notion that parenting isn't his responsibility, or worse, that showing emotion is a sign of weakness. Then there's the toxic idea of masculinity. Society often tells men to be independent, to not rely on anyone, and to suppress their feelings. This can lead to an aversion to emotional intimacy, even with one's own children. Some men might see vulnerability as something to avoid at all costs, and that makes stepping up as a father even harder. There are also situational factors, financial stress, relationship conflicts, and even substance abuse can contribute. It's not always a matter of intention. Sometimes it's a downward spiral of unresolved issues and poor coping mechanisms. But regardless of the reasons, the end result is the same: a child left feeling unloved and unsupported. Understanding these roots isn't about excusing the behavior, it's about finding ways to address it. If we can understand why deadbeat fathers exist, maybe we can start to break the cycle for the next generation.
These deadbeat father stories that I'm starting to see are wild. Why does girl just go up here and explain, talking about she got pregnant by dude did it on purpose, she's pregnant, gets blocked, then dude goes and moves another girl into his house and gets her pregnant. And now some of you would be like, damn, that's already 2 baby mamas. Nah, bro got 3 in total. I don't know what be going on in some of y'all men's brain. Like, I really don't understand the plot to getting a woman pregnant that you don't like. And I don't get the point of trying to bring a kid into the world that you're not going to take care of. Like, I'm terrified to have a kid. And I'm doing decent. But some of y'all just be going to get some of these women pregnant like it's a video game. Like, you can just press restart. I don't know what y'all got going on, but y'all need to stop. And I understand. Women do things bad too, but fellas, y'all be out here wilding out. I've said this so many times. To bring a child into the world and you not even like and or want to build anything with the mother is insane.
Now, let's discuss what happens when a child grows up with an absent father. The effects often persist into adulthood, creating a cycle of abandonment that's hard to break. Many grown children of deadbeat fathers struggle with trust issues. They might feel that if the person who was supposed to love them unconditionally wasn't there, then they can't fully trust anyone else. This lack of trust can seep into personal relationships, affecting friendships, romantic partnerships, and even how they parent their own children. They might either overcompensate by becoming overly independent or, conversely, become overly reliant on others for emotional support. Neither extreme is healthy. Furthermore, the economic impact can be severe. Without financial support from their fathers, many children come from families that face poverty, limited opportunities, and a lack of resources. This isn't just an individual tragedy. It's a societal problem that perpetuates inequality. It's painful to see that the absence of a father can lead to a lifetime of challenges, reinforcing the importance of accountability from the very beginning.
Children who grew up with fathers who were not providers and protectors have so much more work to do when they become adults. And I was just thinking about how a man who did not do his job as a father and as a husband creates more work for his children when they become adults. I'll use myself as an example, and then I'll use my brothers as an example, because it happens to both female and male children. For female children, so I've been recently seeing somebody who, from the very beginning, made it clear that he was a provider and a protector, and he wanted to do things for me. And I've had other men say that in the past that I've dated, and every time it's very hard for me to just like sit back and sit in my femininity, because I saw my mom just working her entire life. She's never not worked. She's never had my dad just be like, okay, let me take a load off. You know, you're taking care of all these kids, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all these things. Let me just help you out a little bit. He never did that. So I just grew up already knowing that I was going to have to be a hyper independent woman. That was just what I thought being a woman was, because that's all that I had seen. All of my aunts were the same way. All of any elder female that was in my family was working like crazy, was never just resting in their femininity, never got to take a break. So because of that, I just grew up thinking that's going to be my life. So now when I run into a man who did have a good example of a father and wants to provide and protect, it's like a lot of mental gymnastics that I have to do to allow myself to let that happen. And then I also have to see so much consistency over and over and over again for me to really truly feel it on the inside and, you know, accept that it's going to work for me and that it's something that I can trust, if that makes sense. Now, for men who grew up without a father who was a provider or a protector or a leader, and that man was still able to maintain a wife and a family, it's also very hard for those male children when they grow up, because they saw
a man be able to keep a family and keep a wife even though he did absolutely nothing. So that's why today we see so many men make women jump through so many hoops before they'll even pay for a single date, because they saw their fathers get even more while doing extremely less. So I feel like my dad did a disservice to all of us as kids, because all of us are having to go through all these different, gymnastics and lessons to try to get what we deserve. So now for my brothers, I kind of feel bad for them because they never had a good example of a father or what they were supposed to do. I can only think of 2 brothers out of 5 that treated their girlfriends or wives even decently. The rest, just they treated them like crap. And that's because that's exactly how my dad treated his wife. They all talk about how they want to have this legacy and, they want to carry on their name. There's a lot of work that you have to do to be able to keep that family name going and to have a good image on your family name. But yeah, food for thought.
This past Friday, I got the news that my dad died. And before you go to leave your condolences, I didn't know the man. I did not know the man. I never met him. He was a deadbeat. I don't have a therapist right now, so I'm going to talk to y'all. I'm feeling like how Tupac said about his daddy. He passed away and I didn't cry because my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. Yeah, I'm getting condolences from people and I don't know what they're telling me for. Tell my mama that. She's probably more sad than me. When I called my mom, I said, "Mom, Kenneth's dead." She said, "Who?" I said, "Kenneth." She said, "Kenneth who?" I said, "You know who." And then she said, "What?" And then she said, "Oh, he'll never get the chance to make it up." Not saying that he would have, but he never get the chance to make it up. For me, that man ain't make it up when I was 16. He ain't make it up when I was 21. He ain't make it up when I was 25. I'm 27 years old. If he ain't made it up in all this time, he was never gonna make it up. It's amazing what you see people say about somebody after they have passed away. Because as the child that was not taken care of, all I can think is he didn't take care of his kids. Oh, he had such a good heart. Anybody that met him knew that he didn't take care of his kids. I don't know. Maybe it's because we didn't meet him that we didn't get to see that good heart y'all talking about. We really messed up about this one. You was my road dog. You was always 10 toes down, no matter who it was. He had your back more than he had his kids' back, because he didn't take care of his kids. These people are asking me if I'm going to the wake. Y'all, it's 10 hours of my day to go and pay my respects to a man that I don't respect because he didn't take care of his kids. I don't respect no man that don't take care of their kids. Now, maybe if they said, "Girl, he left you some money." But I know that couldn't have happened because 1, he ain't have nothing. And 2, he didn't take care of his kids in life. So why the hell would I expect him to take care of his kids in death?
So, what can be done about all this? How do we break the cycle of deadbeat fathers and ensure that children and their mothers get the support they deserve? First, accountability is key. Society needs to demand that fathers step up. This means better enforcement of child support laws, stricter legal consequences for those who abandon their responsibilities, and a cultural shift that no longer tolerates absentee parenting. Education and counseling are also crucial. Fathers who struggle with their own issues need access to programs that help them understand what real fatherhood means. Therapy, support groups, and community initiatives can all play a role in turning things around. For those who have already been affected, healing is possible. Encouraging open conversations about the pain and impact of an absent father can help break the stigma. Support groups for children and single mothers are essential. They provide a safe space to share experiences and build resilience. It's also important to teach the next generation about healthy relationships and responsible parenting. Let's raise boys to understand that being a father is a privilege and a responsibility, not something to be taken lightly. Finally, let's all take a stand. Whether you're a community leader, a policymaker, or just someone who cares, we need to work together to create a future where no child is left to suffer from the absence of a loving father.
I don't respect a man that makes excuses not to take care of his children. It was easy to sleep with their mama, right? But it's hard for her to walk around pregnant every day. Some of these women pregnant and they working, knowing anytime they can have a problem. But that's a mother's sacrifice for her baby. So before that baby come, that baby can have everything they want because mama's still working. But the dad ain't got to walk around with no pain. He all good, y'all. He good. But when she need help, that's going to tell what kind of man he going to be and what kind of father he going to be. If he can't help you before the baby get him, you sure enough ain't getting no help after the baby get him because he already showing the true color before the baby comes. Especially when you need help getting up, need help putting your shoes on, women feet be swelling when you crave certain things. If he can't go out there and get it for you, if he making an excuse, he gonna make an excuse to take care of the baby when it get him, feeding the baby, changing the diaper, buying this or buying that. That's why you don't get pregnant by everybody. Make sure you know that person 100% before you open your legs. Get married first before you do anything. I'ma just keep it real with you. Don't open your legs, that ain't your husband. Close your legs, that ain't your husband. If you learn that, ladies, you won't walk around with a bunch of deadbeats. Because a man that love you, he gonna love you. Trust me. If a man spending his dollars and his time on you each day to smile with you, he loves you. You can't find nobody real because you doubt everybody. You can't doubt every man. There's the right man, there's the wrong man. There's the man that's fake. The one that acts real, does something for a little while, then he stops. So you gotta know which one is real, fake, or pretending. So ladies, you open your legs, you might get pregnant or not. Wearing a condom is not 100% sure that you will not get pregnant, that you will not catch an STD. Some of these men put holes in the condom. They slip it off. You feeling so good, you don't even notice if it's off. They free game. Lady, take notes. This real.
Hey, dudes really be friends with dudes that don't take care of their kids. Like, how y'all do that? How y'all do that? Like, how do you know he don't take care of his kids and y'all just be chilling, hanging out, living life and shit? Does it ever come up in conversation? Like, does anybody out the crew ever just be like, yo, James, let me ask you something. You got a son, right? Why you don't ever bring him around? Why you don't ever go see him and shit? James out here and got children. He got children. Went through with the whole PPP loan and ain't give his kids $1. Shit. And y'all cool with it. What do you think he gonna say to you if you bring it up? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that the thing? Y'all don't want to bring it up because y'all know he gonna say some crazy shit like, man, fuck them kids. I don't give a fuck about them. I told her not to have it. And then you gotta really assess who's your friend and be like, damn, like, I can't fuck with you no more. But you want to fuck with him because he cool and he play 2K and he give you a ride to the gas station sometime. Soon as I'm around my friends, that's like the fucking second question I ask. My friends that got kids, yeah, that's like the second question I ask. What's up, bro? You good? How you been? How the kids? How little Junior, huh? How little Mia? How baby girl doing, huh? She good? All right, cool. Tell her Uncle said what up. If I can't talk to you about your kids and be like, hey, tell them Uncle said what up, Uncle Shamar said what up, then how the fuck? We ain't friends, bro. Go take care of your fucking kids, bro. Lame ass, man.
All right, besties, here's where we turn our pain into power. If you or someone you know has been affected by a deadbeat father, know that you're not alone. Reach out, share your story, and seek support, whether it's from friends, support groups, or professional counseling. Let's build communities where accountability is expected and where single parents are uplifted rather than judged. We can also push for change on a larger scale. Write to your local representatives, support policies that enforce child support, and demand that our legal system treats absentee fathers with the seriousness they deserve. Change starts with us, and every voice matters. And if you're a father who's heard this message, take a hard look at your role. It's never too late to step up, to change your ways, and to be the father your child needs. True strength is in owning your mistakes and working to do better, not hiding behind excuses. Remember, besties, We have the power to break cycles and to create a future where every child feels loved and supported. It starts with honesty, accountability, and a commitment to change. Together, we can make a difference.
There's a culture of deadbeatism in this country that a lot of men feel they're justified for being deadbeats. There is no reason, there is no excuse you could ever give in this world that allows you to be a deadbeat. There is no excuse. I don't care whether this woman is crazy, whether this woman is unreasonable for you to not see the children. You have to understand as a man that most of the time, if she doesn't trust you or your family, she's not going to allow you to have access to the child. So what do you need to do to fight that? You need to go to the family advocate's office. Why are you sitting in your laurels? Why are you complaining? Why are you even beating your chest? Or when go fight. Go fight. We are yet to see TikTok flooded with messages from men saying they fought to see their children. Let 2025 let it be a year where men go out there and say we fought to see our children. We're tired of seeing losers on the timeline being happy that they're deadbeats. That sucks. That is stupid. Stop being stupid.
So, besties, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of deadbeat fathers and the far-reaching impact they have on families and society. It's a heavy topic, but one that needs to be talked about if we're ever going to break the cycle. Remember, accountability and support can pave the way for healing and change. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts, your stories, and your ideas in the comments. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, adios, besties.